Have you ever watched kids spinning in circles until they fall over dizzy? That urge to get out of our normal minds starts early. It is a basic human appetite to seek altered states of consciousness. For thousands of years, psychoactive plants and brews were normal parts of daily life. They were woven into diet, medicine, and cultural rituals. People drank thick beers for sustenance and shared tobacco or peyote to bond with their communities. Then came the Industrial Revolution and the rigid demands of the Puritan work ethic. Society began to insist that hard work and struggle were the only acceptable paths to progress. Continuous, uninterrupted productivity became the requirement. To enforce this, a specific framework emerged, the moral model. This model reframed the natural human desire for pleasure and relief as a weakness of character. Intoxication was suddenly viewed as a sin to be actively stamped out. 2 centuries of this exact framework built the stigma we live with today. We now automatically associate the phrase using drugs with crime, antisocial behavior, laziness, and poverty. This heavy layer of judgment keeps the actual benefits hidden. It actively prevents us from looking clearly at the rational, biological reasons why humans still consistently choose to use drugs. To look past the stigma, we have to examine the brain itself. As a strict biological baseline, human beings are hardwired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. Our brains come equipped with an internal system to manage these feelings. We rely on neurotransmitters, which are natural chemical messengers in the brain. Chemicals like dopamine and endorphins are responsible for our feelings of reward, soothing, alertness, and bliss. All psychoactive substances, whether legal or illegal, work by exploiting this existing hardware. They either mimic or stimulate those exact same natural neurotransmitters. When people take a substance, they aren't overriding their biology. They are employing a mechanical strategy to enhance the exact processes the brain is already trying to perform. Because different drugs target different neurotransmitters, people effectively hire specific substances to do specific jobs based on their immediate psychological or environmental needs. Take social lubricants like alcohol. Alcohol relaxes and disinhibits the brain, meaning it loosens the tight rein you keep on yourself. For someone who is socially awkward or anxious, this chemical action helps them achieve a sense of belonging. Painkillers like opioids and marijuana offer relief that extends beyond physical sensation. Trauma survivors frequently utilize the memory dulling and sedating effects of these drugs to manage intense emotional distress. Energizers like stimulants offer expansiveness and arousal. People reach for these to combat sluggishness, fight through depression, or meet harsh external demands for relentless performance. This split-screen visualization compares the internal reward signals of 2 subjects based on the famous Rat Park studies. Rat Park was a psychological experiment from the late 1970s that tested drug consumption in different living conditions. As the data shows, an isolated subject experiences depleted baseline reward signals, which increases their drive to artificially manipulate their neurotransmitters compared to the community-integrated subject. We see this same dynamic in human populations facing severe environmental stressors. A disproportionate number of LGBTQ+ youth use substances because being part of a stigmatized or bullied group causes fear and shame, often without safe, natural alternatives for relief. The choice to use a specific substance is a direct, measurable response to the specific deficits and pain points present in a person's environment. Once we understand the chemistry and the environment, we can look at the actual people making these choices. This table details the self-reported substance choices of real individuals. Looking at Cheryl's profile, a successful attorney, we see she uses opioid pills. The data indicates she utilizes them to manage intense relationship anxieties and to reduce her alcohol consumption. Then there is Ruben, a marketing specialist with a history of childhood bullying. He utilizes ecstasy, often called an empathogen, a drug that increases feelings of emotional relatedness and empathy to facilitate connection and combat loneliness. When we strip away the legal status and the stigmatizing labels, we see ordinary people attempting to manage life's stress and find a measure of joy. If we want to move past historical hysteria and practice true harm reduction, we must first objectively understand the rational reasons why the chemical tool was picked up in the first place.